Kura koto. I'm Joe Bailey, and I'm currently living in Hanley's Farm. I'm married to Fran, who's also a teacher. She's a team leader at QPS, and we have three boys, Tom, Ollie, and Alex, and we've been living in the Whakatipu Basin now for about 9 years. Community is important to us, both professionally and personally. For example, Fran is on the Branches Trust support the high school camp, and I'm a soccer coach at Queenstown Football Club. I've been teaching for about 25 years and been a leader for about 19 of those. Originally from Guernsey, I emigrated 13 years ago, and during my time there, I was an assessment for learning advisor when it was first introduced. I was a senior leader for years 3 to 6, and I was actually a PE coordinator for 10 years. I'm just going to go over some key experiences and learnings that kind of molded me as the leader I am now. So, for example, when we arrived in Auckland, I was at Campbell's Bay School as a year 6 team leader for those 4 years, and we were very fortunate to have PD with Lane Clark around inquiry learning, and that idea of blending learning and having an authentic problem and tapping into kids' interests has certainly changed my mindset forever. When we moved from Auckland, I went to Remarkables Primary School, team leader in year 4 there. And my kind of key experience there was that I had the opportunity to ensure we embraced tikanga. And we had a camp at Bluff Marae, and I was told, like, here's your script when you go down to the marae, this is a protocol to get on. And I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So I went to the SIT in Invercargill and spoke to a Maori elder about what to do. And to cut a very long story short, the Maori elder and his wife was part of the protocol to get us onto the marae. But Baba, who was the leader of the marae, gave me this massive hug and said that's all I wanted, and it really resonated with me. And from that moment on, I've wanted to bring in tikanga as much as I can. And my time at Arrowtown Primary School in years 7 and 8, we have a graduation ceremony, and I had a colleague, Karen, who was Maori, and we changed the graduation ceremony. So now we have a kurawai and a pukapuka to symbolize leadership and the transfer of that from the year 8 to year 7, and then we have they hacker each other as well, and that's just part of what we do now at Arrowtown School, which is fantastic. I wanted the challenge of leading in an ILE, and I was a team leader for years 1 to 3 with 4 teachers in an open learning environment. And yeah, there were 2 kind of key experiences I had there, because I had to grow the capabilities of the team to work collaboratively, but I also had to develop a whole new pedagogy. And interestingly, I think because I hadn't taught years 1 to 3 very often, I was very vulnerable, and I think that helped the others as well to be open and honest too, and I think that helped us come together as a team, and we created a very clear shared vision, which really obviously helped as well. The PD around Julia Aitken, around the environments, was essential. We used the framework of universal design for learning. And we had genuine student agency with the students. They were deciding who they worked with and where they worked. Really proud of that. During my time at Arrowtown School, I think the key things I've had to work on was grow the confidence of the team. There was a lot of issues with behavior when I arrived. And basically, we focused on being on the same waka and creating consistency and focusing on the key values of the school, particularly guardianship. And we created something called house guardianship, where there's a time in the day where all students are involved in helping tidy the senior space of the school. But also Chris wanted me to shift the practice of year 7 and 8, and we've been focused on personalizing learning, where they have their own timetables, and in maths they're identifying their own gaps and working on them. But primarily the big thing was shifting from a rigid teaching of reading, writing, maths to a PBL approach. And we were working with core education and Derek and Darren, and we used the new pedagogies, the deep learning approach. And in the end, they asked me to do a submission because they were so impressed with what we were doing, which they eventually used at the Deep Learning Expo in Toronto, which we're really proud of. So basically, I'd love to talk to you about this more. We work with NZ Ski. We wanted to work with a local company that with skiing, which is obviously very important to our community, and they needed help with their marketing with night skiing. And basically, we designed, prototyped, and built illuminated ski suits, which brought national TV coverage, which is wonderful and brilliant for NZ Ski. So very quickly, to summarize, I genuinely think I could be a real asset to Kura Whakatipu o Kawarau. I'm passionate about teaching and learning, particularly PBL. I've established positive relationships around the basin. I think empathy is my real leadership strength because I've taught in all the year groups, I've led all the year groups, and I've grown the capabilities of a variety of teams across a range of contexts. So, yeah, thank you for considering my application, and I hope I get to talk to you a little bit more. Thank you very much. Bye.